Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to Life by the Slice. Well, the very first Life by the Slice. Well, I don't know whether to call it a show or vlogging or whatever. I guess that's up to you guys. But like I said, welcome to Life by the Slice. Where here we're taking life one slice at a time, and I want to thank you all for being here. And don't mind me, I'm a little nervous too because it's the very first video and I'm very excited. But this video, we're going to be, rather than going into the introduction that I wanted to go into, where we got to know me a little bit more and a little bit more about my recovery, we're starting in a different place today, which I'm not too proud of, but I feel at this part, at almost 6 months into my recovery, it's pretty crucial for me to be as honest as I can with you guys, and not only you guys but myself. But like I said, once again, welcome to Life by the Slice, where we're taking it one slice at a time. And I am your host, Sal Capone. Most of you know me as Salim, but thank you for joining me on this journey, and let's get the discussions popping. So we are going to start today with, as many of you already know, but this video, we are going to talk about the fact that I relapsed. And give me a minute, but yeah, so let's just jump right into it. As most of you already know me, my name is Salim Nasir Capone. Born and raised Buffalo, New York. I feel like I'm jumping all over the place. I feel like I'm really just trying to I feel like I'm trying to dodge the fact that I relapsed. And I don't want to do that, so let's get right into it. Okay, so I relapsed August 16th, 2019, where my original clean date was March 1st, 2019. And to be honest, I still consider that my clean date, because compared to where I've come from out of 12 years of about 12 years of being addicted to alcohol, and for the first time in my life going 6 months, almost 6 months, I never thought I could ever do in my life. So I do still consider March 1st to be my clean date, or when I decided to take my life back as a human being. And I'm not gonna lie, I guess being so new to sobriety and being so new to recovery, I guess what I could say is within the last 6 months, I spent damn near the last 6 months really clinging to my recovery in a sort of, imagine everybody has a favorite superhero. So imagine being a kid and growing up with a superhero, and how you really try to, in senses, emulate that superhero. And what I'm really trying to get to is more of the fact how I got to a place where once I was able to get clean and realize why I should be living clean, and to get to a place of being happy being clean, I started to view who I see myself in the future as kind of that superhero. And I guess you could say in ways I have, to some degree, some unrealistic expectations about what recovery is and what I'm supposed to be doing. Though I get the premise of what I'm supposed to be doing, and I know why I want to live clean and why I made the decision to live clean, there is still a couple quirks and a lot of different things that I feel like I need to reassess and readjust and change in order to move into the next phase of my recovery, which is where recovery is less of a job. Because no matter how bad you want it in the beginning, once you're forming those fundamental or when you're building those fundamental aspects or those building blocks to this new person that you're becoming, you kind of have it set in that way, as into this is how life's supposed to go now, this is my new routine, this is what I stick to, and I know nothing else because I want to know nothing else, because this is all that's working for me right now in recovery, or no matter what situation. It could be in fitness or in a lot of different aspects of everybody's life. But to get into it, we're just gonna get in, instead of me rambling on, let's get into the conversation, and let's get into what caused me to relapse and warning signs to look out within myself, and possibly to whoever's watching out there in recovery, warning signs for you to look out for in the future. That's why we're here. That's why Life by the Slice is here. This is definitely a family environment. I'm 150% open to all commentary, all opinions. Let's just make sure we just keep it respectful. Let's make sure we just keep it. Let's keep it clean here. But you guys are all free to give me all the advice that you can actually muster or think about, because that's what I'm here for. I'm in recovery, and though I have a specific set routine and I have a specific set goal as into how I'm going about recovery, I still could always learn. I'm still open to listening and learning and growing with you guys and within myself. So bear with me. Thank you. But as of August 16th, I did relapse. I did drink. And most of the reason why I feel like I relapsed is because of, which is a lot of recovering addicts out there can identify with this, is addictive behaviors and toxic behaviors, and how those toxic behaviors can, although you're abstinent from from the poison, which is only really a symptom of this disease. But when you still have certain pieces of the disease that are still attached to you, there comes a point where there's a lot of, like Eminem said, and cleaning out my closet, there's a lot of truth to that. Because not only when you get clean, you don't only abstain from your drug of choice, you abstain from all of those toxic behaviors, those toxic thoughts, those just a complete fucked up way of thinking. You just have to cleanse yourself of all of that. That's the only, I feel like that's the only, the easiest way for a person to not white knuckle through their own recovery, is once they come to a point where at the end of the day where you're working the steps. And don't get me wrong, I do my best to work all of the steps in my day-to-day life, but at the end of the day, recovery is so much more than just 12 steps. And I think we all can identify, and I think we all can agree to that. No matter how good you can be doing, no matter how many of the rules you can be following, at the end of the day, aside from addiction, recovery, mental illness, the devil still exists. At the end of the day, there's no way I can sugarcoat that shit. The devil is always doing work. The devil never stops. And the reason why I pointed that out is because even in light of the two mass shootings that we had just happened recently in El Paso and Dayton, there's a fine line between mental illness and just pure fucking evil. At the end of the day, that's the truth. And we live in a world where we all gotta hold ourselves accountable, but we're all human and we're all still fighting we're still fighting in between those lines. And it's a lot of blurred lines at the end of the day, and sadly. But anyway, let's continue on with the story. Alrighty, so I was woken up in the morning to the day I relapsed. I was woken up to something that I had done, something that I'm not proud of. And I was woken up and I was petrified, and I would say the reason why I relapsed would be more so to do with shame and guilt. And it's a lot of shame and guilt that within almost the last 6 months I was able to finally forgive myself and to grow and to move past a lot of things. But going back to addictive behaviors, a certain addictive behavior of mine interfered with probably the last week and a half of